Hello. Hello, this is Wambacher.
Hi, Wambacher. This is Lee.
Okay. What's for dinner?
I don't know what time is it going to be ready.
Probably not for at least a half hour.
Okay, now are you going to deliver or do I have to come and pick it up?
No, you're going to have to come and pick it up. I'm not doing deliveries tonight.
Okay.
All right. All right, break it up. Let's come to order. Roll call, Doug.
Okay, Trustee Bell,
Here.
Trustee Worthen,
Here.
Trustee Lee,
Here.
Trustee Krupa,
I'm here.
Trustee McBride.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance, Doug.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.
Okay, receipt and reading of the minutes. Have a motion?
Jennifer Lee moved approval.
Is there a second?
McBride, I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Hold on, we got to do a roll call. Do we do a roll call on that too, Bill?
No, that's unnecessary.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that approved. Receipt and reading of communications. Doug, do you have any?
We've got one tonight. This is from Dawn Harper at Epic. And she says, I wanted to reach out and say thank you to you and everyone from CityLift and County Link. We appreciate everything that you and your staff have done to make the transition of coming back during this pandemic. You and your staff have gone above and beyond to make our individuals feel safe during this time. I cannot express enough gratitude of what you guys have done for us. You and the staff have worked with our times and certain days of the week that individuals can come to our facility. Everyone here at Epic appreciates you, your drivers, and your magnificent staff. Again, thank you.
Nice letter.
Yep.
Okay. Is that it on communications? Report of officers? No report. Report of standing committees.
This is McBride. I have one for the Stuff-A-Bus campaign this year. And it's our 33rd annual Stuff-A-Bus food drive to benefit Peoria Friendship House and officially kicks off on October 23rd. There will not be a kickoff press conference this year. Instead, there will be a pre-planned media opportunity showing Marcellus Somerville from Peoria Friendship House shopping for donations at Kroger's and announcing the goal for this year. The goal this year is to collect $10,000 in donations towards the purchase of non-perishable food. Kroger shoppers can round up their purchase to the next dollar amount or make a voluntary additional monetary donation, and these contributions will be donated to the Peoria Friendship House for more purchase of non-perishable food. Peoria Friendship House will also have a donation option on their website specifically for the Stuff-A-Bus food drive. The Day of Stuffing will be a smaller scale media event on November 20th, and the details will come later. The food drive will wrap up on December 1st, and there will not be a wrap-up press conference. Instead, there will be a pre-planned media opportunity showing the shelves at the Peoria Friendship House and announcing the total amount of monetary donations collected. Check out the Stuff-A-Bus Facebook page and it's at facebook.com/stuffabuspeoria for updates and to track the virtual bus that will show the progress of donations collected throughout the food drive. Are there any questions?
Sharon, are they taking collections any place other than Kroger?
Friendship House, they said they can do it in there.
Itself?
As far as I know.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I ask is if you go shop at Kroger, you might want to contribute. I was just curious how you do that otherwise.
This is
Okay.
Emily. I just wanted to hop on really quick and say that we are not collecting food on the bus this year. And so the main way we're going to be trying to get those donations is through Kroger, since they're our big media partner. But I understand what you're saying. There's going to be an alternative donation option on the Friendship House website. And then also, if anybody wants to donate physical donations, they can do so, but they're just going to have to donate those directly to Friendship House instead of bringing them onto the bus this year.
Some type of program like, say, CityLink here, there's a lot of employees. If we could contribute here to CityLink through some method, and then have whomever is taking the contributions to make sure it gets this Friendship House.
Yeah, we can do that still. We could have some bins up here if people want to donate.
I appreciate it. I'd like to do so. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sharon, for your report. Report of General Manager. Sorry.
Got another one.
Excuse me, I have a report from Program Development Committee.
Oh, yes.
We have met and we have public meetings scheduled, and I'm hoping that soon you will see those on your screen. These are in regards to our strategic planning of different routes and other kinds of concerns of the public. And first of all, I want to thank Emily in particular for stepping up and really helping us schedule these public meeting dates, times, and locations. But you'll see that we have a combination of virtual Microsoft Teams meetings. And for those people that feel like they don't want to come to the public meetings, we also have scheduled, we will be more than willing to try to accommodate everybody that's interested in making comments. But the on-site meetings are going to be on November 12th, that's a Thursday, and in the Pekin Public Library, and the Civic Plaza Room in East Peoria on Friday, November 13th from 10 to noon. The CityLink meeting at Live Together Center, Tuesday, November 17th from 5 to 7 on Sheridan Road. And then, excuse me, in the Transit Center itself, we have two options at 9 and 3 at, and that would be at the Transit Center on November 18th. So again, we will be very happy to gather public comments and report on that. Emily, would you like to add anything to what I've just said?
Sure. I did want to mention that I know that there'll probably be some concerns with having these in-person meetings and the amount of attendance, and we are going to be limiting all in-person meetings to 50 people. I honestly don't think we'll have to worry about having any more than 50 people attend at one time, but we will be limiting the amount of people that are allowed in a building to 50, because that's the current limit for the state of Illinois for mass gatherings. So we have taken that into consideration. I'm working with Joe to finalize these details, but these are the dates, times, and locations we were able to come up with. We wanted to try to get into all the areas where we have service so that everyone has an opportunity to share their opinions or their concerns. And we're working with Quentin at STL to work on these virtual meetings because this is our first time scheduling any type of virtual meetings. So hopefully we'll be able to do those, and people will be able to attend virtually if they're not comfortable coming in person.
Emily, this is Jennifer Lee.
Yeah.
Hi. Will the transit center be open in November?
That is something that we discussed as well, since it is not going to be open to the public by that time. So we are going to probably have to have some extra security on hand to be making sure that no one goes in unless they're wanting to go to the meeting. And we also had discussed today maybe just closing down all the facilities and not allowing anyone to come in if they wanted to use the restroom or anything like that. So it is not going to be open to the public, but I'm planning to speak to Ken Body tomorrow to discuss any concerns he may have about security down there, because that was something that popped into my head as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Emily. We're moving on. Report of general manager.
Okay. Don't have a whole lot to report. One of the outings I did attend, I did run into Congressman LaHood, and we did discuss some transit activities and things going on. So that was kind of refreshing. And then I also participated in an OLLI class last week, and those are always interesting because they come up with quite a bunch of different questions for you that make you think outside the box a little bit. But it was interesting that they think we need to on marketing younger consumers for our buses. So that was some good input from them. Then also this month we will be having the APTA will be having the virtual I don't know what you want to call it, annual meeting, but that will have the presentation of the board member of the year, which will be Sharon McBride. So that'll be kind of an exciting event. And that's about it.
Doug, this is Jennifer Lee again. I got some very positive feedback on your OLLI presentation. They loved the 2-pager, and they thought that your response to their questions was excellent. So thank you for representing us so well.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else? Okay, thank you. Report of County Link General Manager.
You want to do City Lift first, or do you want to do County Link first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do City Lift. Sorry, Brian.
It's all right. I didn't mind if Mick wanted to go first. Good evening, everyone. This will probably be one of my last reports for you guys, which I'm sad to say. But in September, our on-time performance was 96.77%. Our productivity was 1.70. Ridership was up to 6,729. We had 0 denials. Our billing hours were 4,005 and 0.17. We had no accidents or incidents. We did have one injury. Our safety meeting was on pedestrians and cyclists, injury and illness prevention, and drug and alcohol refresher, and continue updates of the COVID-19. As far as management activities, we held weekly managers meeting. I attended the monthly Midwest staff meeting with our SVP. I attended biweekly COVID calls, and unfortunately, I started our close down procedures.
Yes. Brian, it's been really nice working with you, and good luck in the future and all your future endeavors.
I appreciate that, and I've enjoyed coming to the board meetings and getting to know you guys and all that. So I'll always keep you guys in mind.
I appreciate it. We'll also keep you in mind. Is there any questions?
This is McBride. I just wanted to tell Brian that I believe he's done a great job with getting the reports to us, and wish him well in the future.
Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that.
Any more? Report of County Link General Manager.
Good evening, everyone. Vic Johnson. Our on-time performance on the county side, 91.72%, productivity of 1.71, ridership 1,051 with 0 denials, vehicle billing hours, rural side, 496.48, vehicle billing hours on the urban side, 117.84, no accidents, 1 incident, no injuries. Again, on the safety and training side, the pedestrian cyclists, injury and illness prevention, drug and alcohol refresher, and the COVID-19. As far as management activities, I also attended weekly manager meetings and bi-weekly COVID-19 discussions. Also assisted in the beginning of the shutdown procedures and trying to make the transition as smooth as possible. Though my time has been brief, I have enjoyed everyone, lots of knowledgeable staff that will answer any questions that we have, and it's been refreshing and unfortunately too short-lived.
Yes. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Any public comments? Doug, would you know?
Nope.
Okay, no public
No
comments.
public.
Go ahead.
Correct, Mr. Bell. I'm sorry, correct, Mr. Bell, no public comments.
Okay, thank you. Old business? Okay, under new business, audit presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please allow me to introduce you our district external auditor from the SICH, Chad Lucas, the partner, Anna, audit manager. They are going to present the fiscal year 2020 audit presentation. Here you go.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Hi, everyone. Good evening, and we appreciate the opportunity to work with the district again this year. I'd like to thank Christine and the rest of the staff for all their help during the audit process. We have a couple of documents that we'll just briefly go through with you. These are actually draft documents, so they're not finalized yet. We have a couple of items that we're going to be buttoning up this week. But we understand that you also just received these and haven't had a lot of time to get through those. So I'll briefly go through these reports, and then if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Or if you have a chance to look at these documents this week, I'd be happy to answer any questions later as well. So with that, I'll just briefly go through the two documents that you have. The first document is the comprehensive annual financial report. That would be the larger audit report that we audit. The report is actually prepared by management, by Christine, and included in this document is our audit opinion. That's really the only thing that's included in this document that's ours. One thing I will say is this is what's called a comprehensive annual financial report. So you submit this report to the Government Finance Officers Association for a Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting. Someone at GFOA then will review this document and provide feedback. And you receive feedback from the prior year report, and we always review those items the feedback that they provide to make sure that we incorporate any of those suggestions into the current year report. And so I'll just kind of start and go through this. Again, this is a comprehensive annual financial report. There's several sections in here. The first part of this report is what's known as the introductory section. Introductory section and the statistical section are two sections that are over and above the basic audit financial statements requirements. And included in the introductory section, which is prior to the financial statements, there's a letter of transmittal that's written by management. It includes a lot of information about the activities of the district that may not necessarily specifically be financial in nature, but a lot of good information in there in the letter of transmittal. There's also a Board of Trustees list, the organizational chart, some maps, and some other general information, as well as the prior year certificate from the Government Finance Officers Association. And then the next section starts on page 21, and this is the financial section. And page 21 is our independent auditor's report. And this audit report is what we call an unmodified opinion. It includes, it means that based on our audited procedures, we believe that the information included in the audit report is fairly presented. After that is the management's discussion and analysis, and that is written by management. It has a lot of good information about why things increased or decreased from the prior year. And actually there's 3 years worth of information presented and discussion about why things may have changed from the prior year. So there's a lot of good information in the NB&A. I would recommend that you read that. That's about 8 or 9 pages, I think. And so you get a lot of good information from that section in the audit report. The audit report, the audited financial statements themselves then start on page 32, and this is the statement of net position, the balance sheet, and this has all of your assets less your liabilities equal your net position. Your net position totals approximately $41.5 million this year. It's a little up over last year, $40,100,000. And then on page 34 is your operating statement. And your operating statement includes all of your passenger fare revenues and your other transit revenues, less your operating expenses, gives you an operating loss before depreciation of $23.8 million. Depreciation then is another approximately $3.1 million. But then you have other non-operating revenues, which includes your downstate operating assistance program funds and your Federal Transit Administration funds. So those total approximately $26.2 million. So you have approximately $700,000 loss before grants relating to capital assets, which is about $2.2 million. So the third line from the bottom there, the change in net position, you had a positive increase of approximately $1.5 million. So your position, your financial position improved over the prior year. After that is also a cash flow statements. So this just gives a list of all the cash flows from your operating, non-financial financing, capital and related financing, and your investing activities. You had a change in cash, a negative change in cash of approximately $3.4 million. And so I believe there were some significant receivables at the end of the year that you collected right after the end of the year that helped with that cash position. After that is the notes to the financial statements, and I won't go through these in detail, but there's significant accounting policies included in these notes to the financial statements. There's a lot of additional detailed information about your capital assets, about your restricted funds, about cash and investments, defined benefit plan, your IMRF plan, and then your other post-employment benefit plan as well. And then also included in here is information about any commitments that you may have. After that is required supplementary information, so that there's 10 years worth of trend information in your required supplementary information relating to IMRF. There's actually 6 years, but you'll eventually have 10 years worth of trend information. That's on page 67. And then after that, required supplementary information is the statistical section, and the statistical section has a lot of good trend information for your financial trends, your revenue capacity, your demographic information, and then other operating information. And again, this section is in addition to the basic requirements for financial statements. It's required for that GFOA certificate program. So this section and the introductory section kind of goes above and beyond the basic requirements for financial reporting. And then the last two sections in the report are your report on your federal awards. And this is the single audit. If you have more than $750,000 in federal expenditures, we're required to perform a single audit. And included in here are a couple of opinion letters regarding the single audit. But on page 92 is a summary of those single audit expenditures, those federal expenditures. And so this year you had approximately almost $5.7 million of federal awards. It included the CARES Act funds that you received this year. And that was all part of the Federal Transit Formula Grants funds, the 20.507 federal CFDA number. So the total federal transit formula grants were approximately 5.4 million. So about 95% of your total expenditures, which is the major program that we tested during our audit process. And then the very last document is the Downstate Operating Assistance Grant report. There's a compliance opinion in there that we've included. And there's the required Downstate Operating Assistance Grant schedule that calculates the funds available for the downstate operating assistance. We did note a small ineligible amount that was inaccurately included in in one of the quarters, and so we've included a finding in there about that. But based on what we know about that, we don't expect that to be an issue going forward. And then the very last document is a report on the 5311 funds. Again, this is required disclosure. There's a schedule that's included in here for that grant that you received. And that same finding also applied to the 5311 grant as well, although it didn't impact the financial nature of the grant funds that you received. So that's just kind of a quick summary of the audit report. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or like I said, if you want to kind of review through it at your leisure, and I'd be happy to answer any questions later as well.
Hi, this is Art Bell. I just want to ask a quick question here, if you don't mind.
Sure, sure.
Would you be available on November 9th? That'd be subsequent to our receiving the audit report, and there may be some questions from the board. And if that's our actual next meeting, it might be easier to ask it as a group. Or
yeah, right now, yeah, I believe I'm available then. I can include it on my calendar.
If you would, just put a tentative hold on that. We may not need it, but if there's if the the trustees want to ask some questions, it'd be more convenient because we'll all be together in one place.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Well, just put tentative on it, and I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
I had one other document that I wanted to run through real quick. If it's okay. So the other document that we have for you is the auditor's communication to the board and management, and it's included in here is some required documentation. There's a cover letter. There's some disclosures in here about what estimates we evaluated during our audit process, the fact that there was no difficulties encountered during the audit. This includes some adjustments that we proposed during the audit process, as well as a list of adjustments that we did not propose or that we passed on because they were considered immaterial to the financial statements. And then also included in here is a management letter. And the management letter, we don't have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls this year, but we do have some recommendations for improvement for a couple of control deficiencies that we noted, and some other comments that we have included in here. And I'd be happy to go through those in detail with you, or if you would like a chance to just look through those, and I could answer any questions that you may have at that November meeting.
That's hold on, please. When will we get the copy?
When will we get a copy of this report?
The board report?
Either one, both.
Christine, did you?
Well, the hard copy will deliver, maybe we can finish it by this week, by the end of this week. So whatever you receive this afternoon, just a draft. And you will get the hard copy by the end of this week.
The board members as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, yes, does anybody want to go through this on the report on the rest of his report? Or do you want to wait till the 9th?
We can wait until, I mean, right now, whatever Chad tried to present to the board, actually this is pretty close to the final, the draft's almost final. So I think all we have to provide is a management letter to the auditor, and they can finalize that, and they will issue the actually final report to us by the end of this week, right? Yeah. So we can deliver the package to the board, all the board, this week, the end of this week, and then also the board can take a look for that. And I believe, Chet, you are available next month, right? So maybe you can answer the question maybe the board have.
Yes.
Okay.
You finished?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chet.
Thanks a lot. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right. Resolution 2116, Christine.
Yes. District on behalf of Peoria County apply and the Section 5311 CARE Act, and also receive the notice from the state, this award, with a funding amount of $556,747. This resolution is authorized general manager to execute this grant, and also on behalf of the district sign the contract, and then we're going to return back to the state to final execute. Therefore, the board recommend Board of Trustee approve this resolution of 21-16.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Jennifer Lee, second.
McBride,
Okay, it's roll call vote.
Trustee Bell,
Approved.
Trustee Wortham,
Approve.
Trustee Lee,
Approved.
Trustee Krupa,
Approve.
and Trustee McBride approves. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Resolution 2117, contract renewal recommendation, Shannon Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Before you have Resolution 2117 that is for our dental and vision insurance. We are currently under contract with Delta Dental and iMed. And so First Mid Insurance Group has recommended that we go ahead and renew our dental and vision insurance with Delta Dental and iMed for the January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021 plan year. The renewal rates that are being offered reflect no increase from the prior year, so they will remain the same as what they have been. So we would like to recommend that the board accept this resolution for our dental and vision coverage.
Thank you, Shannon. Is there a motion?
McBride, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second, Maxine Wortham.
Okay, roll call vote, Sharon.
Trustee Bell,
Approved.
Trustee Wortham,
Approve.
Trustee Lee,
Approved.
Trustee Krupa,
Approve.
Trustee McBride approves. Motion passes.
Motion passed. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Shannon.
Yes.
Okay, financial.
You're welcome.
Christine.
All right, thank you. In September, our district's financial activity, including in the area, majority we spend on the payroll, pension, health insurance, and also we purchased our transportation service. It looked like the 75.5% we spent on those areas. We compare with our projection, our monthly projection, we kind of have a 1.49% favorable budget variance. Therefore, staff recommend Board of Trustees approve the September 2020 financial transaction in amount of $2,152,965.83. Thank you.
Krupa move for approval.
Do I have a motion?
Yes, move for approval.
Is there a second?
McBride, I'll second it.
Thank you. It's a roll call vote.
Trustee Bell,
Approve.
Trustee Wortham, Trustee Wortham, Trustee Lee,
Approve.
Trustee Krupa,
Approve.
Trustee McBride approves. Motion passes.
Just a reminder of future meetings before we adjourn. The next meeting will be November 9th, 2020. And following meeting will be Monday, December 14th, 2020. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
McBride, you've got it.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Stay well. Where are we at?
Now,